today's video. And in today's video, I'll be giving my final prediction for the Donald Trump impeachment trial in the Senate. Now, at the moment, it's 2:14 p.m. Eastern Time. There's a good chance that this gets out probably around the time that the voting starts. So apologies for that, because by the time I also finish the thumbnail, by the time the video's over, it'll probably be around 2:45 or 3 o'clock. So I'm going to try to get this done as quickly as possible. We're going to start off with all the safe convictions. Patty Murray, Maria Campbell, Ron Wyden, Jeff Murphy. I'm not going to say all their names, actually. They're all safe. Actually, I will. Jackie Rosen, Catherine Cortez Masto, Mark Kelly. Kirstensen was safe. She voted to convict back in 2020. I don't see her not doing it. Debbie Stabenow, Gary Peters. I'm just going to say their names, unless I'm talking about something else. Joe Manchin, he's already said that he would convict. Gillibrand. Sorry, I saw Kirsten like, oh, Gillibrand. The cinema has actually said that she wouldn't. Or not said that she wouldn't. She's said that she's undecided or whatever. But it's essentially, this was a violent insurrection incited by Donald Trump, and that is a fact. And if we go find Manchin, a lot of us believe that if there was ever a reason for our founding fathers to have the articles of impeachment in the Constitution, this was it. So, they're both pretty much safe. Tammy Baldwin, I got their names mixed up. Angus King, so he is in the undecided column, according to the New York Times, but at this point, King, I mean, like, anyone who voted to back in 2020, would most likely do so in this, impeachment trial. I don't see anyone who voted to back in 2020 not doing it in this trial. Both John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock, weren't in the Senate at that point, but, they're still basically, like, almost certain to do it. They've always been pretty anti-Trump. Now, there are two senators I'm missing. I know where one is, but I'm looking for the other. Must be someone who just has one seat, where there's only one Democrat in the state. I'm looking for the seat, though I can't find it. Oh, Bob Casey in Pennsylvania. And then Mitt Romney in Utah is also pretty much safe. He did it back in 2021 or 2020. He's going to do it in 2021. Now, for the safe acquittals, Mike Lee, Steve Daines, Kevin Cramer, Roger Marshall, Jim Inhofe, Ted Cruz, John Cornyn, John Kennedy, both Roger Wicker and Cindy Hyde-Smith, Tommy Tuberville. No, he's not likely. He's going to be safe. Marco Rubio and Rick Scott, both Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham, Marsha Blackburn and Bill Hagerty, Tom Cotton, Josh Hawley, Rand Paul, Mike Braun, and I believe that is it. There might be, and Ron Johnson. And that is it. Okay, now for the likely convictions, and there's only two of them. Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins. Now, they're both obviously Republicans who did not vote, who voted to proceed with the trial. Collins and Murkowski have both been critical of Trump, and at this point I think are more likely than not to. I think this pushed a lot of people like them over the line who previously voted to acquit, who at this point are not gonna, I think that the insurrection essentially pushed all these people over the line, and now they're all essentially safe convictions. Not quite safe, just because they didn't back in 2020, but I don't see them not. Now, for the likely acquittals, John Hoeven in North Dakota, Mike Rounds in South Dakota, both Chuck Grassley and Joni Ernst in Iowa, Roy Blunt in Missouri, John Boozman in Arkansas, James Langford in Oklahoma, both Tom Tillis and Richard Burr in North Carolina, Shelley Moore Capito in West Virginia, and that is it. So, as we go, we don't really need to look at all of them. They've all, I believe, said that they're going to vote to acquit. They're all people who, there's a slight possibility that they don't. A lot of them are more anti-Trump, but also Boozman and, not Boozman's not going to vote to convict. Boozman, or not John Boozman, Brasso and Cynthia Loomis, they've all said that they're going to vote to acquit. They're all just people who may not, people who have had shown signs here and there that they may not. So I think that that's essentially the only thing. They all did vote to not proceed with the trial, which is another thing, and that it was unconstitutional. And combined with the fact that they all voted to, to not continue, and that it was unconstitutional, and then that they've already said that they're going to quit. I'm going to put them as all likely, although they're pretty much safe at this point. Now, for all the lien convictions, there are 3, I believe. First off, Ben Sasse in Nebraska, Pat Toomey in Pennsylvania, and Bill Cassidy in Louisiana. So if you weren't able to guess by now, the Republicans, or Trump, will not be convicted, at least in this prediction. So as we go and look at this, we're all these senators. So Toomey, we can go start off with Toomey. He said that it was constitutional, and when President Trump's impeachment trial begins on February 9th, I will again fulfill my responsibility to consider the arguments made by his lawyers and the House managers. He also said that it's constitutional to vote to impeach. So, or he said that the impeachment trial was constitutional, and he is obviously, since his announcement of retirement, has been fairly anti-Trump. I think that Toomey at this point is a done deal. Sasse has been pretty critical of the GOP in total as of late. As a juror, I'm not announcing anything now, and I'm going to be limited on what I say in advance. He's said that, obviously, he's been pretty critical of the GOP. He's been, since then, even more anti-Trump than he was before, and it's not really affected his re-election chances back in 2020, in the 2020 election just a few months ago. Even after being critical of Trump for 4 years, he still managed to win his re-election bid in the state. I think that he's almost certainly gonna vote to convict. It won't really affect his chances. He doesn't have a whole lot to lose. While there is a good chance that there is some primary opposition, like I said, he ended up winning in 2020, despite being anti-Trump. Stuff could happen, and the Republican... Sorry if there was any background noise. My family is very loud right now. So sorry about that. My mother just came up here yelling at my brother. So I don't know if you guys could hear that. I hope you guys couldn't. Hopefully this mic is not quite sensitive enough to the point where you guys were able to hear that. So apologies about that. Anyways, Sasse, well, there's a good chance he does face some primary opposition. 6 years from now, it may not even affect him, considering the fact that he was able to win after being pretty opposed to Trump, and then it'll be 6 years after Trump lost. So he could, he'll probably vote to convict. And then Cassidy voted that it was unconstitutional, but then said, then voted to proceed with the trial. And he said, I'll listen to the evidence and seek out as much as possible what the truth is, and that will determine how I vote. So he also said that the Democrats are doing a very good job with their case against Trump. So I think that at this point he is pretty much not a done deal, but he's probably going to vote to convict. There's still a good chance that he votes to acquit. I would just say that he is a lean conviction. Now for the lean acquittals, Mike Crapo and Jim Risch in Idaho, and Richard Shelby in Alabama. So, Crapo, Risch, and Shelby, are they the only 3 that I labeled? Yes, they are. So they've all said that they're all undecided according to the New York Times. I think that Shelby, he's from Alabama, he's probably going to vote to convict. Risch, as a juror in the Senate Trial Center, Risch will not commit to how he'll vote before its conclusion. he's still probably going to vote to convict. I believe I looked up his name the other day, and a lot of the news was him going against it. He also voted it was unconstitutional. Senator Crapo is withholding comment until after the Senate conducts due process in a trial. So he just hasn't said. They're all probably gonna vote to acquit. Now there's 7 votes left, and the Democrats can't get a conviction, but we're gonna go label them anyways. So now for the tilt Democratic convictions, there are actually none. So the rest are all tilt Republican acquittions, I guess. Except for maybe Dan Sullivan. He's gonna be close. I could label him either way, really. Honestly, McConnell could be a lean or tilt conviction or tilt acquittion. I guess acquittion's the word. Where is our one remaining toss up? Oh, Jerry Moran. He's probably actually gonna be lean to acquitting. So right now in Alaska, Dan Sullivan could really go either way. He has said, where is Dan Sullivan? When a trial is conducted, I will be a juror and I will thoroughly examine the argument and evidence presented, including any defense mounted by the president's legal team. He also recently said that what the Democrats were able to do is able to reignite his anger, meaning that there's a good chance that he does vote to convict. Now, Alaska, for his re-election chances, which I don't think his election's up until 2026, so he's going to be all like sass. State's also shifting to the left. There's a good chance that by 2026 it's only a 6-point Republican state, at least on the Senate level, because on the presidential level it'll probably be an 8-point Republican state by 2024, but it could shift another 2% over those next 2 years. So I think that he will most likely, or not most likely, but convict. Like I said, he could really go either way. It's close with him, so it could go either way. Now for the Republicans, there are 4 Republicans that I'm saying are going to acquit. First off is John Thune. He has said, where is John Thune? Our members, irrespective of what they might think about the marriage, just believe that this is an exercise that really isn't grounded constitutionally, and from a practical standpoint, just makes no sense. Now, he has also said that the Democrats that the House managers did a really good job of connecting the dots. So that was something that he said more recently than that. So that could suggest that he will vote to convict. Now, I think that, considering that he did vote that it was unconstitutional, and that I believe that he voted not to take on witnesses. I don't know. I'm assuming that the 5 that did were Romney, Murkowski, Collins, Sass, and Toomey, though I don't know. I really don't know at this point because I haven't looked it up. I'll go do that quickly. Just looked at it, and it was Collins, Murkowski, Sass, Romney, and Lindsey Graham. So, both Cassidy and Toomey did not say that they wanted witnesses. Graham said that he did, so it really could have gone either way. But where was I? I'm trying to think where I was. To that witness thing. I don't remember where I was. So sorry about that. That I just completely forgot. It took me a second to get that information. So I did forget where I was. Oh yeah, I was on Thune saying not having voted to allow witnesses. I don't know, now looking at this, I'm not necessarily know that the witness thing could change much, but I do think that Thune will most likely, at the end of the day, vote to acquit. Rob Portman voted that it was unconstitutional, although most likely since he's retiring, he said, "The trial is forward, I will listen to the evidence presented by both sides and then make a judgment based on the Constitution and what I believe is in the best interest of the country." That Constitution part is what really gets it. He said that he would. He said that it was unconstitutional, so at this point, he's probably not going to vote to acquit. Now, there are 2 senators left. Actually, I'm going to talk about Mitch McConnell for a minute. But Deb Fischer, she's just said that she wouldn't respond. That's the only reason. It could maybe be a likely safe even. She just hasn't said, so I'm going to label that as a tilt. And then finally, Todd Young, he has said that he will, I believe, I'll be looking narrowly at the article of impeachment related to incitement. So, he has said that. However, he's also said, he's also implied that Trump being a private citizen means that he shouldn't be impeached. I think that that's probably enough to, say that he's going to vote to acquit. And, now McConnell, McConnell is really close because he said, "I have not made a final decision on how I will vote, and I intend to listen to the legal arguments when they are presented to the Senate." Now, McConnell can probably still win re-election, even without having voted to acquit. And he has also said to vote for people to vote their conscience. However, he did vote that it's unconstitutional not to proceed with the hearings. So that's, and I don't really know necessarily that he's shown any sign of changing. Now, McConnell, Schumer, and the House managers and impeachment or Trump lawyers apparently met and or they worked on discussions about the witnesses. So that could be something, but I don't think that McConnell's going to vote to convict. I really don't. I highly doubt it. Sullivan, like I said, is a real toss-up. I think his vote could go both ways. It could be very close. So I don't really know. I don't even know what I'm gonna label it. I am torn because what he did vote that was unconstitutional. That was also before he said that that it reignited his anger. So that's why I'm gonna label it towards conviction. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will go now watch the impeachment. I guess just watch the trial and what's going on. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.